In my last video, I exposed a money-making method that was being sold for upwards of 10 million coins in Discord servers by assholes. And now, 10,000 people have seen that for free. So now, all of you are rich, and you need a way to waste all your money. And what a better way to waste money than with Slayers. Slayers are supposed to be the current endgame content of Skyblock. They are epic battles that take tactical healing, damage dealing, and a group of people to defeat. Or at least that's what they were supposed to be. If you give Skyblock players anything interesting, they'll find some way to make it the most boring and mutant grind ever just because it's faster and more efficient. So in this guide, I'm going to go over everything you need to know about doing Slayers. Some things are universal. All Slayer quests cost money, and this amount is the same across every Slayer. 50k for a tier 4 and 10k for a tier 3. These also award the same XP, being 100 from tier 3s, 500 from tier 4s. It is always easier to level up farming tier 4s unless you cannot consistently defeat them, in which case it is usually better to do tier 3s or just ignore Slayers altogether. Slayers also offer around 400 guild XP each if you're into grinding that, and many guilds list Slayer level requirements to join for literally no reason. All Slayer bosses also fully heal if they do not hit you every 15 seconds, with the exception to this rule being Sven Packmaster after he summons his pups. That's all the universal stuff covered. Slayers are a huge topic and I don't want this video to get too long, so if I skip over a few things, they probably aren't that important. Revenant Horror is the easiest of all the Slayers, as you do not need anything particularly special to defeat it. The Revenant Armor set is not worth using, and it is outclassed in DPS by both superior and strong dragon armor. The optimum strat is to back yourself into a corner and brute force DPS by out-healing against the boss with lifesteal enchants and healing orbs. The boss enters an enraged state if not killed within a minute of being summoned, and he actually deals enough damage to kill you if you're not careful, so your top priority should be killing the boss before he enters his enraged state. Try not to stand still for too long either, as standing still can trigger a critical hit, which is often enough to one-hit you. At zombie level 6, the Reaper Falchion is unlocked, which is probably the cheapest and easiest way to deal with this boss at just under 7 million coins. Once you have one of these, you should be able to fight off tier 4s with ease. Another notable thing in the Slayer levels are the Revived Heart at zombie level 7, which is a ridiculously strong tank heal item, and a Reaper Scythe, which admins have said it is likely to be useful in dungeons, although is of little use right now. A boost to health regen is unlocked at zombie level 8, which is also nice to have. Tarantula Broodfather is the second Slayer boss in the lineup, and is annoying because it can be only fought on the one island that fighting anything is an absolute nightmare. At Tarantula level 4, you unlock the Tarantula Armor, which is pretty much essential for doing tarantulas at any real speed. Aside from being one of the best sets in the game, it allows you to double jump and gives you a huge mana boost, which helps you navigate the terribly designed spiders then. The easiest way to summon this boss is just shooting spiders with a bow whilst jumping around, and to fight it, the optimal strategy is to back yourself into a corner with a roof and DPS the boss. It likes to target other players and jump down holes, which is very annoying, but if you get it right whilst summoning, you don't have to worry about it. If the tarantula does fall down a hole, turn your back towards the hole it fell down, as the spider's AI likes to jump behind you, and the spider will immediately leap out of the hole and back to where you are. The tarantula levels do not have many useful items, as the scorpion foil isn't really necessary for the boss, but unlock as many useful talismans to add to your collection, and the fly swatter for hardcore minion grinders. At tarantula level 8, all alchemy XP you earn is increased by 50%. The Sven Packmaster is the final Slayer boss and can be farmed in the ruins or the Howling Caves. Sven Packmaster is an annoyingly fast wolf that deals 3 damage that ignores your defense stat. The best way to deal with Sven is to hit it only in water, but do not stand still for too long, as it can perform a critical hit and one-hit you very easily. So move about side to side a bit and also let it hit you once in a while so it doesn't regen all of its health back. At half health, it summons a large herd of pups which can be safely ignored, but the Sven Packmaster becomes invincible for 5 seconds. Just hit through the pups and you'll be good to go. Mastiff Armor is unlocked for use at level 4, and makes me glad that I'm the one making this video and not Furry E-Boy. Mastiff is basically required to do tier 4s, as 3 hits from Sven can be enough to kill you even in superior armor. It deletes all of your defense and it changes crit damage to health, and usually ends up being 23,000 health when holding a sword. It does, however, reduce your crit damage by half, which makes you very weak. And this armor is not worth using with at least a shaman sword, and preferably the pooch sword, unlocked at level 3 and level 6 respectively, which transforms your HP into damage and reduces the damage you take from wolves. You also unlock the Maddar's Batphone in this Slayer, which is honestly the only thing that makes Slayer grinding worth at all. This Slayer also unlocks the Radiant Orb, Mana Flux Orb, and the Overflux Orb, which are amazing healing and DPS items which are needed for dungeons, and at level 8 it decreases the coins lost on death by 5%? How is this useful? Overall, Slayers are not worth grinding beyond level 7. The luck factor in getting these drops is ridiculous and never profitable, and just because you or someone that you know got a lucky drop early, it doesn't mean a majority of people will. The rarest drops have a 7 in 13,000 chance, or around 1 in 2,000 from tier 4s, meaning it will cost an average of 100 million coins to get the rarest ones. If you do Slayers, make sure you use magic find potions, critical potions made with Slayer brew, and a third potion to help with mobility. If you have any more questions, leave a comment, and if you don't, click the like button for a 100% chance to make the thumbs up icon turn blue.